I created 100 YouTube videos across 100 days and posted every single day without missing a single day. And in this video, I'm revealing everything that I have learned and showing you behind the curtains at the things that I would change, what I would do differently, and the biggest things that I have learned. So you can see here that I have got 170 videos now on my channel, and I started with just a handful of videos, and then this video blew up, and then I started posting 2 or 3 videos every single day, and then I committed to doing 100 videos for 100 days, 1 video every single day. And in that time, I have accumulated 183,000 views, which is crazy because I only have 4,800 subscribers. So to have 183,000 views is pretty mental. $754 in AdSense, which is whatever. I have almost quadrupled my channel, and I have grown 3,200 subscribers, and I have 13,000 hours of watch time and 183,000 views. So many of you would have come in at this massive peak here, and I just started pumping out 2 or 3 videos every day, and then once everything settled, I go, okay, 100 days, 100 videos, 100 days, I'm going to commit to it. Well, why? Well, because that is Alex Hormozi's rule of 100. So he states in his $100 million leads book, if you want to grow your business, it's impossible not to do it if you just focus on the actions. The most important thing is taking action. And so that was the thing that changed my life, because I turned on the camera and all of a sudden I shot this video here, which went mega viral, bottlenecks for me. Whereas you can see before that I was posting hyper, like look at this video here. But Sarah had given me, I'm talking about, everything is hyper scripted. There's lots of fancy lights. There's expensive editing. There's AI images. And then I just turn on a camera, and all of a sudden I get the most views I've ever gotten, and thousands of people start pouring into my free school group, the Dopamine Digital school group over here, which many of you might be a part of. And so I was like, all right, well, let's keep this going. And so 100 videos over 100 days is what Alex Hormozi suggested. It removes all of the inaction that's in all of us, right? And so I posted 100 videos for 100 days, or you can do warm outreach, 100 warm outreaches for 100 days, or you can do 100 cold outreaches for 100 days, or you can spend 100 minutes a day running paid ads. That is the core 4, and that's the rule of 100. I happen to choose free content. I suggest that you do the same thing, and that's exactly what I do inside the Ship It Society. I challenge everybody inside here to every single week ship a meaningful piece of work, and we keep each other accountable on these accountability calls once per week. We get on a call, and I spend about an hour, hour and a half breaking down your guys' businesses, challenging you and pushing you and making sure that you guys take action, because ultimately that's the only thing that matters. And so that's like one of the main things that I discovered from this whole thing, is that action is the only thing that you should be caring about. The 6 biggest mistakes I made, however, firstly, the most important thing around the YouTube video is the idea. And so Mr. Beast talks about this. But I realized early on that I didn't have the bandwidth to run an agency, do all of the things that I needed to do, not kill myself with work and like sleep more than 2.5 hours a night and put out video content. And like, how was I going to do all of that, right? So I wanted to come up with a system and a way. And the first thing that I did was start to outsource the idea development to my team. And what I found was that outsourcing the ideation is one of the biggest mistakes that I made, because nobody really understands the niche better than me and what I want to talk about and my unique knowledge, because otherwise I'm just going back to like reading from, not a script, but like I'm reading an idea that isn't from within me, if that makes sense. And if you listen to Mr. Beast, he's like, the most important thing is the idea, then the thumbnail, and then the title. But if you just spend a couple more hours on the idea, you can get 10, 20, 100 times more of the engagement. So it's not like it's not linear. You don't spend an extra 2-3 hours on the idea and then you get 2 or 3x the output. Sometimes it's 100x the output. And I have found that that is true. If I look back on some of the highest viewed videos, a lot of them were, I spent hours on the idea, hours on the title and the thumbnail and the hook, and I recorded the first part 4 or 5 times. Whereas most of these videos that I've created have just been like, that's like a decent idea. I could talk about that for 20 minutes, turn on the camera, no cuts, no edits, first take, done and dusted, download, upload, right? Because I was just focusing on the actions. But if I could go back, what I would do is I would focus mostly on the idea. Like I would spend 50 to 60% of my time on the idea, and all the other stuff I would think it's not nearly as important. Now, obviously, I didn't have the bandwidth to do that, but that's what I would do differently. Secondly, if you look back at a lot of these videos, I didn't spend a lot of time on the thumbnails. And like for somebody that agonized on the thumbnails initially, like I remember I got this thumbnail done 4 times by 3 different thumbnail designers, and it did 600 views, for goodness sake. And this... I got 6 different thumbnails made, and I split tested it multiple times. Oh my God. And so to go from that to posting like screenshots with red text, like red blocks, and like the designer in me, the creative in me wants to vomit. There were some that I went back and I changed. Like you can see this one, a couple of these I've changed. But typically, the thumbnails were an afterthought, right? And so I rushed the packaging, which was one of the biggest mistakes that I made, because these 2 things here make the YouTube video. If the idea is garbage, nobody cares, and then it's just a massive waste of time. And if nobody clicks on the video, then nobody watches it, nobody can engage. So number 3 is an inefficient workflow. So I almost every single day, I ideate, film, edit, design the thumbnails in one day instead of batching them all together. So it's a huge cognitive load, and there's all this context switching that needs to go into things. So I'd finish my day oftentimes, and then like I'm doing now, it's 12:30 at night, so I finished all of the agency stuff that I need to do, all the personal stuff, and now it's time to film the video. All right, well, what are we talking about today? Okay, I'll go to the repository of ideas. These are some of the ideas, put together a couple of things on a mirror board, turn on the camera, talk about it, download, upload, right? And so it's a very, very inefficient workflow. Whereas if I took, let's say, Monday, and I'm like, Monday is content day, and this is what the Grant Cardones and the Hormozis and the Laylas, they all do this. They sit down on one day and they spend 3 or 4 hours filming 15 pieces of content. Then the next day they do 25 short form pieces of content. Instead of doing one piece every day. Like I'm not Beeple, I'm not doing, there's no reason for me to not batch it together. And so the 4th mistake I made was the wrong timing. So I left content creation until the very end of the day, and I've sort of made it like at the end of the day, I don't have the same energy to bring to the camera, to bring to you people. It might seem like that, but right now it's 1:45 in the morning. After this, I'm going to go to bed, and I'm going to either be expected to sleep, but I'm all hyped up from these videos, or I'm super sleepy and then I don't bring any energy to the videos. And so instead of doing it at the end of the day, I would switch it to the beginning of the day, because it's the least focused part of my day, but one of the biggest levers I've discovered. Number 5 is that if you look back on a lot of these videos, they are general marketing principles, or they are general marketing things. But my ICP is not general business owners. And so what I found is that I attracted unqualified leads that needed my help, but they were in a completely different niche that I couldn't necessarily serve. And so I would speak directly to my agency ICP, consultants, agency owners, and SaaS founders. And number 6, like an absolute idiot, I would just post the long form video on YouTube, and then that was it. I wouldn't even post it again on Twitter. So what I have done now is that I take one piece of content. Of course, I post it across multiple different channels and multiple different verticals like Twitter. But I also break it down into shorts and then post that across different channels, and then also post those across Twitter, and then also post them on Dopamine Digital branded assets like YouTube channels, Twitter accounts, etc. And so one long form piece of content now gives me, I think, approximately 7 to 10 pieces of content that's spread across multiple different verticals. They aren't doing crazy numbers, but at least I'm omnipresent, and at least it's like the system is set up now, right? So these are the 6 biggest mistakes that I have made, and I think it's important to know, like, the 5 things that I would do differently, and like they sort of tie into the mistakes, right? Which is make ideas the priority. So moving forwards, what I'd love to be able to do is spend more time on the concept, the hook, and the angle, and treat the idea as a product. And I would use GPT as a collaborative tool, not as a replacement. So I wouldn't script everything out, but I would spend a lot more time on the core idea. And I started doing this in the very beginning, but I realized it was unbelievably unsustainable because I was doing 2 videos a day, and it would take me 6 hours to do those 2 videos, and then the day is gone. And so what I was doing was going to bed at 6 in the morning because I'm like, I'm finishing at midnight all of my other stuff, and then spending the next 6 hours creating two long form videos, and each of them were like just a nightmare, but they were getting views, right? So I wasn't about to stop. Anyway, it destroyed my health, and I was like deathly sick for 2 weeks, but I still posted. So I would make ideas the priority. I would batch everything together. So I would create a list of video ideas in advance. I would work with a thumbnail designer and titles that would be locked in before I would film, so that I could confirm the title and the thumbnail in the first 10 seconds of the video. Oftentimes, I found myself like changing the name of the thumbnail, changing the name of the title and the thumbnail, and then there's an incongruence with the first few seconds of the video, and so people would land in the video and be like, wait, this isn't what I clicked on, and right? So it's only because after I've shot in the video, I'm like, oh, that's not a very good title, that's a terrible thumbnail, it's not getting views, how can I change it? And then I change the title and the thumbnail, and then it wouldn't make sense with the video. So Mr. Beast says, title and thumbnail, title and thumbnail, title and thumbnail. Don't film a video unless you can get the title and the thumbnail and it's compelling. Like, they will scrap an entire video idea, even if it's a good idea. If they can't put the concept into a thumbnail, they won't film it. And then I would film multiple videos back to back. I would block out a full day, and those are the videos that I would pump out in that one day. And then I would eat the frog early. So instead of doing the videos at the very end of the day, what I would do is what Hormozy suggests, which is the first 4 hours of your day should be dedicated to one of the core 4 and the rule of 100. 4 hours of content, 4 hours of outreach, cold outreach or warm outreach or paid ads. Because the reason that you're not at millions and millions of dollars a month is that people don't know that you exist. And if you spend more time advertising that you exist, you will make more money. So ideation, filming, thumbnails, analytics, research, those 4 hours are the highest leverage. I would shut down Slack. I would shut down all of my other apps. I wouldn't check my emails, and I would just focus on the content because it feeds everything else. And then I would reduce the volume and increase the quality. So what I found was that because I didn't have a lot of time, and I'd like blocked out 1.5 to 2 hours a day to do the piece of content, I was finding that I was cutting corners, and a lot of the time I was just focusing on the work and getting it done and shipped, which is great, but it also meant that many times I would create a video and I'm like, that wasn't a very good video. Or I look at the idea before I film it and I'm like, this is not going to do numbers. Oh, screw it. It's a video. It's one of my 100. and just turn the camera on and ship it. And I'm glad that I did that because I got the reps in. I removed the bottleneck in my mind and all the restrictions around perfectionism and caring what people think and all the rest of it, which I'll talk about in just a second. But from now on, what I would like to do is to go from, let's say, 1 video a day to maybe 3 a week, and then focus on those 3 videos and make them, just spend an extra couple, like instead of spending 10 hours a week on 7 videos, I'd like to spend 10 hours a week on 3 videos. And those 3 videos would have better ideas, better titles and thumbnails, and they would be, they would confirm the title and the thumbnail in the first few seconds, right? So it would be packaged way nicer, and it would be specifically to my ICP, so it would bring me in more high-quality leads. And I am assuming that those types of videos will grow my business better than the ones that I have been putting out. That is my assumption. If you'd like to follow along, make sure you subscribe, because I will be doing that in the coming few weeks. What I would also do differently, and I'm in the process of doing this now, is to find a person in person to follow me around and create some lifestyle vloggy type content, because many people have asked, you guys have asked, like, what does a day in the life of Jordan look like? Well, a lot of the time I'm sat in front of my computer working, but sometimes I do cool stuff. Sometimes I go out into the world. I live in a cool city. I live in a fantastic building. I like nice things, you know, make decent money. I go out and I spend it often. I hang out with cool, interesting people. And so I'd like to film that content and integrate that into some of the lifestyle stuff that I'm doing. So it's not just me sat in a little circle, floating head on your screen, but it's actually you getting to know me personally and like building a deeper relationship. So I'm in the process of doing that. Now, the 5 things that I learned. So the most important things that I learned is that I have the ability to do this while I am deathly ill. If you go back on and look at some of these videos, I pumped out so many so fast, I destroyed my health. And this video here, I am incredibly sick, like deathly ill. And I remember I pumped my face full of painkillers. I showered and I sat down and I'm like, okay, let's just do this for 10 minutes and then go back to bed. Turn on the camera and I just talked. And then for the next couple of, like, all these videos here, I'm deathly sick. And I still put out the videos. So I also filmed during some personal emergencies, like over a period here somewhere. Yeah. This, like, if you're having a bad day, watch this. So I just got some, like, terrible news, and I had one of the worst days I've had in years here and across these couple days, and I still put out the videos. And I'm certainly glad that I did, because it would have been very easy to stop here, which would have meant that all these videos would have not happened. And all of the results that I'll reveal in just a second would have likely not happened either. So I realized that sometimes the work just needs doing, and when you publicly commit to something, and when there is a strict framework and a strict rules, you tend to do them. And I mean, I have to give a shout out to you guys in the Ship It Society, because honestly, if it wasn't for you guys and me publicly declaring it and having to show up every week and you guys keeping me accountable, like you think I'm keeping you accountable, you're also keeping me accountable. I have posted every single day in this here 97, 96, da-da-da. And like Sarah's doing the same thing. Mia is doing the same thing. Osanda's doing the same thing. And so, like, I didn't realize how important it was to keep each other accountable. But the reason that I have posted every single day, even though there was some incredible forces stopping me from posting 2 or 3 times during the last 100 days, I still shipped the thing anyway, because I can't be the owner of and the founder of the Ship It Society and not ship what I told you that I'm going to ship. And so I hate to plug this again, but if you want that accountability and you can't get it from anywhere else, go here. We're having a sale at the minute. If you can't afford that, at least join in here, and you can try and keep yourself accountable here. But obviously it's not the same. You don't get access to me. You don't get the weekly calls. But that's like one of the main things that I learned, is that I was able to do all of these things because I was being held accountable. And I sacrificed sleep and social life for daily uploads. And what it did was, it's now built this identity as somebody who A, keeps their word, and B, learns to ship imperfect work. The biggest thing holding me back from taking action before was thinking that I couldn't possibly release something into the world that wasn't perfect. And it stopped me from achieving my full potential for so many years. It's embarrassing to even think about. So hopefully, if you're watching this video, like I'm speaking to you right now, yes, you behind the screen. Yeah, no, don't look around, you. Just ship the thing. Like, no one cares. They don't give a flying F about you or your problems or how ridiculous you look. Alex Becker started and people made fun of him, and now he's 100 millionaire. Alex Hormozi started and people made fun of him, and now he's 100 millionaire. It's just like there's so many examples of people that you and I respect who posted content, who have changed your life, they've changed my life, and the only reason that I know that they existed because they posted content and they just shipped the thing. And they started imperfect, and then they became better. And the good news is, the content you create in the beginning, no one is going to watch. So ship the thing anyway. So all of this eliminated this perfectionism in me. I become more disciplined and resilient. And as an added benefit, I don't know how this happened, but I was able to attract the attention of much higher quality girls. So instead of me going out and chasing them, the algorithm put me in front of them and they started to chase me. And so it's a crazy, crazy phenomenon. And so content has become the most powerful thing in my personal life and my business. Things that I have learned are that consistency is the most important thing. So it's not the rule of post 100 videos over the next 300 days. It's post one video every single day for 100 days without skipping a single day. Do 100 cold outreaches for 100 days without skipping a single day. It's about this compounding hockey stick. And you don't get that if you start, stop. And many of us, especially entrepreneurial, shiny object people, we jump from thing to thing to thing to thing. And we stop. And if you just stuck with one thing long enough, you would succeed. Because the only way that you lose is if you stop. And so for me, nothing happened until day 50. I posted, that is... there are here. Let's go through this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I was deathly sick before I posted my 50th video, and it was roughly around here that all of a sudden I collected tens of thousands of dollars from these videos. It wasn't from day one. It wasn't from the videos that did crazy views in the beginning. It wasn't right at the end. It was day 50. And so it tested my discipline more than my creativity. And this consistency is the thing that will pay you in the end. And I will show you how much money I have made over the last 100 days. But I didn't get paid a single dollar from any content until day 50. Number 3 is that because I have now posted 100 videos in 100 days, it makes weekly uploads feel unbelievably easy. If I was to go back to posting one video a week, I remember thinking that there's so much to, there's so much. I was making one video every 4 months, I made this video, then like 5 months later I made this video, then 4.5 months later I made this video, then this video took 4 months to create, so it was like 6 months later. Oh my god. And now I have created 100 videos in 3 and a bit months. And it's like Fight Club. Once you get punched in the face, everything else in the world gets the volume turned down. And so it's shifted my perception on what is possible. And now I have a new baseline for what I know I can produce. Not what I can believe, but what I know. And the content that I have put out creates so much leverage. All these videos continue to get views every single day. Some of them get 1 or 2 views. Some of them get a couple hundred views a week. Some of them may come back and do numbers in 6 months. YouTube is good like that. It just continuously tests the videos and puts it out into the world, and if it gets views, it gets picked up. I have a video on a different channel where I posted and it got 200 views, and then 6 months later it got 1.5 million views. Why? I don't know. Why didn't it get that out the gate? I don't know. And so what it does is it creates little pieces of real estate that get views every single day, and then clients find me, and the trust builds and compounds. And so it's just like an unbelievable compounding leverage engine that never stops. And then finally, the identity shift. I think I've talked about it a little bit, but I have become somebody who does what is required, not what is easy. The idea of I will until. And so I am one of these people who, when I say something, I do it. And when I commit to something, I don't break my word. Like if I say for 90 days I'm going to do this, or I'm going to remove sugar, or I'm not going to touch a drop of gluten, or whatever, I don't do it. And so if you are currently struggling with anything in your life, if you set yourself a challenge and you do it every single day, at the end of that challenge, you will have a new identity. And now you are the type of person who keeps their word, is disciplined, who follows through on everything, who is able to resist temptation, and who is not a perfectionist. And you build this enormous self-confidence. And you build that, Hormozi talks about this gigantic wall of proof. So, some results. I've already shown you the back-end analytics here. You can see that, like, look, just in the last 48 hours, I have 558 eyeballs that have looked at my content. Which, like, if you compare me to a Hormozi, is nothing. I'm like the tiniest little speck of dust on his hat. But these are real people, and all these people are people like you and me who have problems and are looking for solutions and building like and trust with me, and they subscribe, and maybe later they come and they activate. So there's hundreds of thousands of dollars of pipeline like sitting in and amongst my viewership and my subscribers and my email list now. That's another thing. I have an email list. Like before this, I was running email marketing for clients, and I would make $500,000 for them in 2 weeks from their email list, and I don't have a single person on my email list. Now I have thousands of people on my email list. So some of the results that I have gotten is a newfound respect for myself, an enormous amount of respect I seem to have gained from my peers because I have done the work, and they can see how hard I've worked, which is a benefit. And like obviously I mentioned that girls have come to me, which is a happy accident, but wasn't the main purpose here. Collected almost $800 in AdSense, almost 200,000 views in 100 days, 13,000 hours of watch time. Like, how many days is 13,000 hours? So it's like, okay, it's almost 2 years. It's almost 2 full years of human beings on this planet watching me speak, little old me speak in a little floating loom video on my YouTube channel about business and marketing. It's crazy. Now there are 170 videos on my channel. I have been able to monetize my YouTube channel. Like before that, I hadn't reached a threshold. I've gained approximately, I think it's just more than that, 3,000 new subscribers. And then this is the big one here. How much cash have I actually made? The answer is about just under $60,000. So not too shabby. About $500 per video. So imagine if you posted every day for 100 days and then immediately $500 landed into your bank account every time you posted a video. Whether it was a good video, a fantastic video, garbage video, or a video that did 50 views. Would you do it? Of course you would. Well, that's exactly what I have gotten. But not a single dollar landed in my account until day 55 or something. So it required me to do more than 50% of the work up front before I saw $1. So just think about that. Now, like just wrapping up here. Content has now become my core growth lever. Every single creator who's influenced me, who's influenced you, I can guarantee it. Even you're watching this video right now, it is a piece of content. The Alex Beckers, the Hormozis, the Sabris, the Sam Ovens, Charlie Morgan, Iman Gadzhi, I only know that they exist because they turned on their camera and they started talking, and they did it imperfectly in the beginning. My own audience now messages me saying the same thing, that they have had an impact, I have had an impact on their life, which is both humbling and like Mia here, for example. If you watch this interview, this guy is so smart and so switched on, and he talks about how a lot of the things that he has learned inside the Shipper Society have changed his life, and the only way that we have connected is because I made YouTube videos. And one day he will go on to impact other people's lives as well. And so the knock-on, like the crazy butterfly effect you get by turning on your camera and imparting just a slither of wisdom. And I'm not a Hormozi. I'm not a Ty Lopez here in my garage. I don't have all the knowledge to give to you, but I just am one chapter ahead of a lot of you. And so there are many people who are full libraries ahead of me, but there are people who are watching this video right now who exist on YouTube that will resonate with me and only me. And there are people on YouTube that will only resonate with you and your message, and you are the only person in this world who will be able to impact them in a meaningful way. And so it's our responsibility, it's your responsibility, it's my responsibility to turn on the camera and impart as much value as you possibly can, because those people are out there and they're waiting for you to change their lives. Just in the same way that all these people have changed my life, and just hopefully in the same way that I have added some value to you in your life and imparted some kind of knowledge or getting you to take some slither of action. So anybody that is watching this, you are just a few chapters ahead of someone who needs your help. Your voice matters even if you are not a big name. Your job is to ship consistently and they will find you. The algorithm will put you in front of them and they will like you and they will subscribe and you will impact their lives. So pick one of the core four. It doesn't need to be content. If you're afraid of being on camera, you're not rah-rah. It can be cold outreach, whatever it is. Pick one of the core four. Commit to doing it for 100 days. I suggest you do it publicly. You can do it inside the free school group, or if you want to join for $59. $59. Like, it can't be that cheap ever again. It's a 50% off right now for the next 24 hours. Like, every single week, imagine getting on a call with me, and I'm like, all right, John, what is your business? Cool. Let me run it through ACQ AI. Cool. This is the things you need to do. Do you understand? Yes. This is the plan I put together for you. Do you understand? Yes. What are the things you're going to do? X, Y, Z. Brilliant. On the next call, I expect to see it. Can you commit to that? Yes. Can you commit to the 10 other people on this call that you're going to do that? Yes. All right. I'll see you next Monday. Make sure that you have that done. And then you go out and you actually do the actions, because you know that you're going to get on a call and we're all going to go, John, where's the thing that you told us you'd do? Come on, mate. We're all expecting you to do it. Everyone else has done it. What's the matter with you? Like, imagine how impactful that would be. It doesn't need to be with me. It can be in a free community, whatever. Get your friend. That's what I did in the very, very beginning. Before I was a part of any community, me and my friend would meet once a week. We'd write a list. We'd keep each other accountable. If we missed the list, we'd pay each other $50. It doesn't need to be a big, big deal. But I would suggest you pick one of the core 4, do it for 100 days, expect absolutely nothing for at least 50% of that. It's going to look and feel like a complete waste of your life and time. But keep going anyway, because you are the type of person with the resilience and the fortitude to keep going in spite of no results, because it is the action that builds the type of person that you become that will eventually get the results. Because once you are the type of person who deserves the results will come. So just focus on the action. I think that is like the main thing that I want you to take away from this video, that if you just focus on the action steps and you do nothing else, and you get like just this much better every single time, you will succeed. And if you do 100 meaningful pieces of action for 100 days, there is a 100% guarantee that you will explode your business. So, if you want my help, join the Ship It Society. If you're a consultant or an agency owner or a SaaS founder, you can go here, fill out this form, and I can do all of this for you if you don't want to do it yourself. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. And this is day 100 of 100 days, and I am signing off. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still coming back, but this is my 100-day challenge complete. Let's effing go.